Yo,
D- there it is, Mike Hass, leader of the MADDSNAKE Creative Collective. Welcome to UPHILLRADIO.
what's up? We started? We're ready?
Yeah, we live, brother.
How long have you been live?
Shoot, like 2 seconds. I heard the whistle.
All right, that's dope. That's dope, bro.
How you
Thank
doing,
you for
brother?
having me and shit. I've been doing good. I just worked out, and I've been doing
Yeah,
some reaction videos and stuff.
go ahead
Yeah.
and give us a brief day in the life of Mike Hass.
Brief day in the life. Well, I'm gonna keep it a buck. Do you wake up at like 6 and work out, and then go to school or work, one of the two, and then I end up getting home being tired of shit, like just to or I
Mm-hmm.
sleep or something, and then I wake up, and then I wake up really later, and then I end up staying up to like 4 a.m. doing some
Oh
form
man.
of content, but all the while connecting and talking with people that I want to work with or like do shit with. I always have to be
Mm-hmm.
in contact with like a fellow serpent, somebody that I'm doing a podcast with, or someone that's uh purchasing my music journalism services or something, you know.
Uh, now, if you don't mind, what are you going to school for?
Um, everybody gets surprised by this, but bro, I'm like 17, dog.
No, you're not. Really?
Yeah.
Wow, bro. Okay, I'm gonna tell you straight up, dude. I give you props. Congrats on everything, on all your success for being 17, dude, and putting in the work you're putting in, bro. Major props. If I could, I'd be putting up applauses right now. Sounds of applauses.
We all need a soundboard, dude. I used to have one and use it in my videos, so like it just kind of
A soundboard. Yeah, that's
yeah,
what I
it just
need.
kind
I
of
need a
like I would
soundboard.
press random buttons and get like I would like make a podcast and I'd press a random button and like when I was like bored or something, like recording it, and it would like really be
Yeah.
distracting and
What
shit.
would it?
Yeah, it's kind of distracting, but it's kind of fun because like it brings you to like, how do I say it? Like there's certain shows that I kind of saw doing it around me that I like fucked with and did shows with, like podcasts with, and they were doing it, and I was like, I'm gonna let them do the thing. I don't really want to make that the way I do shit. Like it's kind
Right.
of, and I didn't feel like I was stealing shit, but like,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean?
Well, well,
See someone else do it
listen
better.
from listening to your YouTube, your SoundCloud. I'm telling you, you have your own setup, bro. I don't think you have your own thing with Mike Media Inc. And I want to know. Let's go ahead and get into the MADDSNAKE Creative Collective. Go ahead and give us a start up on that. How did that come about?
Well, as a music journalist, because that's what people see me as, when that's
Mm-hmm.
just one aspect of many forms of creativity. I'd always kind of like wrote songs and stuff and wrote like and made beats for like 2 months when like the seventh grade, like fucking like I forget how long ago this was, but it was a while ago. And I just kind of
Mm-hmm.
stopped. My friend kept doing it. And I kind of got back into making beats around last September. So I didn't really start making beats like the way I've been making them really until like September. And I kind of just started making beats because I wanted and starting to like form a group.
Mm-hmm.
Um I kind of formed a group in like June of last year, but at the time I was
Okay.
thinking of doing vocals, but I just ended up not really doing anything vocally. And like I was in this weird, every group member was in this weird period where they barely dropped anything and weren't
Mm-hmm.
doing really anything, and stuff like that. We were in this weird tough spot. And the first original members, I'll give you the rundown of the first original members. It
Okay.
was just me, MADDSNAKE, my friend Killzen, and my friend Lee, the Lee guy. You've heard him before.
Mm-hmm.
You know that song "Clicked Up"?
That's him.
Yeah, that's
The
Lee.
one.
I'm just the producer. You know what I'm saying? I'm just the producer on the tracks.
So
Um,
you don't have any vocals yourself. You don't like sing or rap.
no, I don't, but I will like eventually down the line. But for now, I'm just kind of like doing shit behind the scenes, running shit, getting everybody shows, trying my best to put other people before me and get them up and you know, I distribute because you know, it takes balls to just be a producer and distribute it yourself. Because a lot of
Yeah.
producers are like pussies most of the time and don't want to like release music under their name. A lot of producers are scared to put their name on stuff, and that's just like, dude, what? You worked on that, and you're kind of the foundation for the song.
Now, when you're making your beats, are you keeping them for the collective for whoever artist you're working with, or are you selling them?
Well, if the collective stuff, it's really way more free flowing and not really business oriented. Unless, you know, we do split. We're starting to like figure out how to do splits and stuff like that. But for like other members, like if you see me collaborate with someone that's not in the group, yeah, they'll probably buy it, the beat or something like that. But we're more we're more like focused on crafting bodies of work, like actual huge like cool albums, singles, getting like we're more focused on the product and stuff like that. And I'm proud of my production and stuff like that, but I do know like I got a lot to work on and I can't do stuff the way I've been doing it, and I'm trying to just make my own sound and shit.
Now, how are you finding the artists that you want to work with for this collective?
Oh man, so before I ever did anything music related, I was really a music journalist, and I still am a music journalist, and that's what people mainly see me as, is, you know, that guy who interviews people. But I did a track review. I knew Killzen since like 2017 because me and him just Killzen. We just know each other from like I think a movie camp. We like made a soundtrack for a movie or some shit like a while ago. And Lee, I reviewed his track and recruited him in, and because he sounded like what he told me. He told me like he like he makes these jokes when he's like, I'm Mexican Drake and stuff like that because he's like Mexican and he lives in Texas and stuff like that. So then I got him involved, and then I kind of started to get. Then I got Ziploc Fresher involved, a Schema Posse promoter, and stuff like that. But he's trying to do his own thing, and Drac Hawthorne. And then I got Unlucky involved. Unlucky Beats. He used to go by the name Whammy, and stuff like that around December. And a lot of these people came from me either covering them on the Mike Media channel, like being interested in their stuff and promoting them and helping them because I like genuinely enjoyed them without me even being tied to them, stuff like that. So you already have that genuine energy with all that, and then like originally we kind of we had way more producers than rappers, but ever since about February, we've been trying to recruit way more vocal artists. But I do plan with the collective though. While we do release like beat tapes, singles, songs, and albums and stuff, and music videos and stuff, I do want to like, and we kind of barely did this, but I want to drop movies and documentaries on the MADDSNAKE Creative Collective YouTube channel because that's been a long passion of mine, and I write scripts every week. I'll probably write some short film script or idea, something like that.
Yeah, I did because I was on your Mike Media Inc. website, and I did see that you were doing films and filmmaking. And have you done any music videos yet? I was looking.
Yeah, I've
Have
shot
you?
2 music videos for an artist that I used to manage, Jace. I don't manage people anymore. It was very time consuming, and I used to manage artists. It wasn't a mess, but it was just like stressful, and I don't know. Anyways, but I respect Jason. I did 2 music videos for him. If you go on the MADDSNAKE Creative Collective YouTube channel, you can see there'll be a section for like music videos I directed. They got a couple hundred views, just 2 videos, and I plan on shooting another one. But I'm in Delaware, and you gotta find some local Delaware artists for this, and there is some, and I'm really connected with a lot of people out there, so I'll be trying to do that soon.
Well, how is the scene out there in Delaware?
A lot of hidden talent, a lot of good stuff going down, but you really got to dig, and a lot of people out here want to sound like Philly.
They don't have their own sound yet.
All right, my bad. All right, we still kind of have yet to find a sound. But there is still some good
Okay.
artists out here, regardless of not having a sound. But we do kind of sound like Philly, a melodic version of Philly rap. That's how I describe us.
Mm. Now I'm enjoying the artwork, bro. Who's doing the artwork for the creative collective?
Oh yeah, the main logo is in background with all the snake and that.
Mm-hmm.
The main one is that would be Vibe Balls. He has his own account. I'll definitely link you with him because he just always
Yeah.
doing cover art for like Schema Posse, Pike Gang, and stuff. He did that just for
Mm-hmm.
like 2 logos, the beginning one, but a majority of them are either me or Unlucky. Unlucky Beats is really good at like Photoshop, and he always knows what he's doing, and he sells all his services. Shouts out to him. If you're like an artist, he charges
Mm-hmm.
you for covers for cheap at Unlucky Beats. You know the vibes. But anyways,
Are you familiar with like VHS tapes, like the artwork on covers on that?
yeah, I own a VHS tape collection. Like
Yeah.
even though I'm young, I watch a lot of VHS tapes, and I literally
Uh-huh.
listen to CDs in my car. Like I just was listening to fucking Whitney Houston in my car. It was awesome.
Yeah, that's the vibe right there. The reason why I brought up the VHS tapes is because I'm a big fan of how the artwork was back then. The art was really nice and sick,
For
especially with
sure,
like
yeah,
horror. You know what I mean? And with
exactly.
and I'm seeing that kind of vibe with the artwork you have here on Circle of Serpents. It's sick, dude.
Yeah, man.
Cause
Like
that,
what you say?
yeah, go ahead.
Nah, yeah, we totally like try and fit an aesthetic. I'd say we try to fit 3 aesthetics. Um,
Mm-hmm.
a sort of retro vaporwave type of aesthetic, vaporwave synth trap aesthetic. I'm trying to
Yeah.
make my own sort of trap style called like synth trap or some shit. I don't know how that's going, but I'm trying to do that type of style. Um, and then we'll also kind of fit the horrorcore, specifically Memphis horrorcore funk aesthetic, hardcore funk aesthetic. We try and do that. PHONK
Mm.
funk. We try and do that aesthetic, and we also try and add a G funk aesthetic.
Damn, those are big moves right there.
Yeah, just those
Now,
3. What you say?
now with all those sounds, what influenced you to get into that?
Listen, influence me got into that. I ain't know
Mm-hmm.
about none of this shit. I ain't know about funk. I ain't know about like most of the people that I've covered or done shit with. Like a
Yeah.
fucking less than a year ago, really. Like last summer is when I started getting into like music and taking it seriously. So, what really kind of got me into it is like, honestly, I watched the Lil Peep documentary
Mm-hmm.
and kind of just Googled everybody that was in the documentary that I like fuck with and like their perspective on Lil Peep because I barely knew anything about Lil Peep
Right.
until like a year ago. Instead, like the OG SoundCloud days, I was like a kid who hated rap music. Like I used to hate rap music and I used to say fuck rap music and anybody that listens to it like in like 2017. But like not
Yeah.
really until last year I kind of got into it and realized like it's a good community to get into and I'm proud to be a part of the underground community. And I realized that it's a very inviting community to get into. So I kind of push myself to get involved with the underground rap community and try and
Mm-hmm.
specifically the horrorcore and funk community. But yeah, so I the first sort of funk artist, there's some shit I really got into would be probably Jay Green, the creator of
Mm-hmm.
Schema Posse. I guess you could consider Puya and Goodfell. I mean Puya and Craig Zen a little bit kind of funk, but they kind of do a different more so horrorcore type shit. I've always heard about a lot
Right.
of funk or horrorcore artists or emo
Mm-hmm.
trap artists. Like I kind of knew about them, but like I started like really diving in last summer and shit. Yeah.
Yeah, and then that'll take us on over to your Mike Media Inc. YouTube channel, and with the reactions. Now what started the Mike Media Inc. at first?
What started that? Start 20. Well, I've been doing YouTube since I've been fiddling with cameras and entertainment since I was 5, but I started releasing stuff
Mm.
on YouTube since I was 7.
Oh wow.
Um, I probably have 5+ different channels out there and
Oh dude.
content that I like failed YouTube channels that were just me dabbling in styles
Mm-hmm.
of stop motion animation, Lego reviews, uh, comic book reviews, comic book like
Mm-hmm.
vlogs, filmmaking, football highlight tapes. But it started the channel that all my stuff is on right now. If you go to like the first video,
Mm-hmm.
is film reviews, and in my content I try and add content centered around films that I enjoy. But it started off as a film review YouTube channel where I'd review movies and just
Okay.
like yeah, I just reviewed movies, saw a movie, gave my thoughts of it, did video essays analyzing a movie, saying like, "Hey, King of New York is a underrated gem, and it's low key better than Goodfellas." And I analyzed the movie and how like the influence the movie has had on hip hop as well, or some shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
The King of New York. That's like my biggest video is 6K views, and it's literally me
Oh
explaining
wow.
why a movie's underrated and shit for like 10 minutes. But
Yeah, I'm looking
and then
at
it
your
ended
YouTube
up.
channel,
What'd you say?
and it ended up doing what?
Yeah, so I did the film reviews, and then I ended up getting into doing album reviews with some buddies and stuff. I do like to bring my friends on my shows as much as I can, but like I'm, you know, you can't
Mm-hmm.
control everybody's play. It's like having a co-host is not the look, and I haven't had one, but like yeah, I like bring my friends on, but I can't rely. I've learned to not really rely on people that much, and more so
Right.
rely on myself. So I ended up dabbling in the music, doing interviews and album reviews and stuff like that. And then I started doing reaction videos, and people have been paying me for like reaction video to react to their music. It's a real blessing, and also
Wow.
people paying me for their articles that I write about them. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I never ever would have thought I'd be paid for like analyzing someone's music, and I've been way more respected in terms of music journalism than film journalism. But I really want to try and I really still like making content centered around films I enjoy, but I just
Mm-hmm.
nobody really takes me that seriously with the film stuff, and that it's not that that hurts. It's just like I just unexpected more so.
Well, are you familiar with a YouTuber named Jeremy Johns?
Yeah, that's like one of the first ever film critics I ever seen, and he's hella inspiring.
Yeah, like when a movie comes out, you want to go on YouTube and hear from someone that you enjoy, right? And hear their input. And I'm telling you, bro, like I'm new to Mike Media Inc., but I would definitely go to you to hear your 2 cents on any kind of film. And I think that's what it is just finding that right audience. You know what I mean? Because you have good content, bro. Like good content.
Yeah, bro. Like I do movie reviews like still, but like on my I have a podcast called HASS, where I start off with a film review. I then
Mm-hmm.
go into movie news, and then I end up going into a album and single review, just like new music as well. And then I ended up with a nostalgia case where I analyze like an old movie that I feel nostalgic for, and it's a show that ends up rounding out at about 30 minutes. And it's one of my other podcasts. It's a solo show, but I only really have done 50 episodes. But it I don't release them as much as my interviews, because interviews are way much more of a thrill to set up and do.
Right.
But I still try and do them as much as possible. But like I went a full month without doing one last month, and it was kind of weird, but it just happened.
Would you ever consider down the line having a co-host on your podcast?
No,
No.
never.
Better better suited just by yourself.
Yeah, like I'll do shit like with people, and I'll do vlogs with people and content with people, but like you can't like I'm not like I don't have one per even my closest friend. Every time he's in my
Mm-hmm.
video, like, have you ever seen a video with a guy named Drew, like some curly haired guy with long hair? That's like my closest like friend and stuff. Every
Okay.
time I get him in my video, it's like me, not really forcing him, but like being like, bro, we got to do this just like 15 minutes, and then we'll do something else. And it's like, okay.
Yeah.
I just kind of point the
Yeah.
camera in my face, like nobody's really ever voluntarily. It's more so just been me like getting a buddy of mine, just hey, come on, let's go. But like if I find that
Mm-hmm.
person, it's not that I'm self-centered. It's that like I've learned to like the more when I see a lot of shit or not really betrayal, but like more so like falling out with someone that I've creatively collaborated with, the more and
Right.
more that happens to me, the less and less you expect from people, and the less and less you expect from people that you work with, the more you do shit because you actually enjoy it, you know?
Right. Would you say you're an artist at heart?
Yeah. I mean, I consider my interviews to be art. I mean, I try
Mm-hmm.
and tap into some good topics. Like, I try and when I interview someone, I'm trying to get something out of someone, not in like a greedy way where I want them to expose their secrets, but like I actually want to show them like my type of way is like my type of question is like, what was the most aimless period of your life where you contemplated everything that you ever would have done, and how did that impact what you're doing now? Like that's my type of shit where I'm like asking them like not really like has someone in your family died, but like have you ever like had a traumatic event that turned out to be a really good thing later down the line? That's my type of question. I'm not gonna ask
Mm. Mm.
like I'm not gonna ask like I want to ask about their music or whatever they're doing, but like I really want to ask about them as a person and they're like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel you, because I think a lot of the things that we go through is what leads to our path. I'm sure that there's a lot of people out there that went through so much, and that's the reason why they're in music, right? There's something that put them in that spot. So those are great ass questions, hard hitting questions. That for anything,
Yeah,
I'm taking note on that, because it depends on the artist or whoever you're interviewing, really to see if they want to open up. But if they really want to strive in this industry, they're gonna need to open up somehow. I don't know. Do you feel like an artist should open up more?
yeah, they should open up. They shouldn't be like a robot and like say the same shit every interview. Like that's why like the 24K Golden guy, like I like his like I used to like his music and but every interview with him is the same and like you can tell like
Mm.
his PR guy gave him like a list of shit to mention, or he's just a repetitive person. But he's like, so I dropped out of college and then I ended up getting signed to Columbia. And it's like, bro, okay, cool. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I just don't want people like to give me their same shit every interview. Like, I want to be like, I want to ask about, I want to go in their tagged posts and like figure,
Mm-hmm.
like one time I asked like Adam the Shinobi, which is a funk artist, I was like, so you won fourth place in a track meet in the 7th grade or some shit like that. Like I was asking, I was like, so didn't you do a talent show? How was the talent show in the 8th grade or some
Mm-hmm.
shit? And he's like 25, and he's like, bro, what? How the fuck you know that?
Shit, did he give you an answer?
Oh yeah, he was very open about it. Like he was like, yeah. I was like, I did a talent show and I just spit an awesome freestyle and everybody loved it. And then he also talked about how the freestyle was how it pushed him to do whatever he's doing now. And it's like, fuck yeah, dude.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now, on your YouTube, do you cuss on your podcast or anything like that?
Yeah, I'm not Christian. Like I don't hate Christians, but like I'm just like I'm not
Well, the reason
anti-religious. Like,
the
what do you
reason
say?
why I, the, the reason why I bring it up is because when when YouTube first started and you wanted to put content out, you did it however you felt fitted. And over the years, it gone corporate, and now you got all these content creators that are very careful, and they don't let any kind of word slip, like the word shit. They'll censor it, they'll bleep it on the YouTube channel, and I think that sucks. That's sad that they're turning like the television days and they're bringing that into the YouTube landscape. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I think that applies really to only like people that have real influence on YouTube. You know what I mean? Like Keemstar, he does that shit because literally every video he posts gets 5 million views
Mm-hmm.
because he's fucking Keemstar and posting like I fuck with Keemstar. A lot of people don't like Keemstar, like the guy who does all that YouTube news shit. Like
Yeah, he's
him
making
and
moves.
Scarce, yeah, like he's I don't. A lot of people don't want to hear the truth, and he's the news, and he's
Mm-hmm.
giving out the YouTube truth. You got to hear about like
Seriously.
the either positive or negative shit that your favorite YouTuber is doing. You could if you want, but I do think information is getting pretty annoying lately, and I kind of wish I didn't know a lot of the shit that I knew about people I listen to or watch. You know?
Yeah, I hear you on that. Although I think that we everyone's different. I respect that, but I think people just need to be more open about who they are and not be afraid. Because I think ever since I want to hear your input on this, but ever since like um, Democrats with the Republicans and the Trumps and the Bidens, it's like people are now afraid to be themselves because they're going to get attacked. Now, what is your input on that?
My input on that is I'm very anti-tribalistic. You know,
Mm.
about in general. And the reason, what I say about all that is like, you could agree or disagree with some. You could agree or agree with someone's ideology, but you can't be like overly violent about like if you really hate someone. But what I do want to bring to the fold, which I've kind of said before, but I forget when I said this. It might have been a while ago, but I like to bring this up every now and then. Is
Mm-hmm.
George Washington's farewell address. He gave three beautiful, based on one prediction. He gave like three kind of outlines of like how America is gonna go, and all came true. He said, if
Yep.
America sticks with the two-party system, these three things will happen. We will become territorially divided. We will become too involved in international affairs. And what else he say? I got Google in front of me.
Perfect.
Washington farewell address.
We need a Jamie.
Jamie, pull that up. Jesse, pull that up. But what did he say? Yeah, he was just kind of like, if you have a two-party system, it's gonna be like, it's just gonna fuck everything up and make like it's just gonna fuck up America and everything that happens. And like, look what happened. Like, oh yeah, massive amounts of debt. We're gonna
Yup.
become too territorially divided, and we're gonna become too involved in foreign affairs. And that was in like the 1700s, bro. Like,
I
he
know.
was right.
Like how they were right. They were way intelligent, way ahead of their time.
And it's like they look at like if they were like there's like a good Joe Rogan bit where he stand-up comedy bit where he's like, if you brought Thomas Jefferson to the present, he would have
Oh
been
shit.
he would have been like, you didn't change any of our shit. Like,
I did see that.
why is everything still the same?
Yeah, I
Like, I
saw
wrote
that.
that next to a fire. Like, that's what Joe Rogan was saying. Like, he's like, I had like, yeah, that type of shit.
Yo.
But I think that I think what you can blame, I think with each, let me analyze both parties right now.
Yeah.
Democrats and liberals think that they're rebellious and not the status quo, when really they are the status quo, and they are the mainstream thought, and they are the most supported party and group of people, and they think that they're like giving like original opinions that aren't like that, and they're sort of productive, but they often contradict themselves. But what also the Republicans are all, they seek to maintain values and traditions that really should not be maintained and are lack. And even though they praise their lack of innovation, they consistently want people to make more money and technologically innovate. When in either case, both party ruins the scenario of the country that they are in, and each party worsens everything. And it's like, they should have, like, imagine each party having a limit on donations. Like, what would happen?
Seriously.
Yeah.
That was a good analysis.
Yeah, I can mostly credit that to Ted Kaczynski, the Unabomber. I've read his manifesto. It's one of the greatest works ever done.
What's
I'm
that
not
book
joking.
called?
Industrial Society and Its Future.
Industrial Society and Its Future.
I'll look into it. Even though he bombed like over 30 people, he made some good points. I mean, like, there's a
Yo.
thing, like, he just mailed bombs to like 30, like that's so based.
Yeah,
Anyways,
yo.
he has a whole chapter on like he has a whole chapter on over socialization and how when you affiliate yourself and surround yourself with a bunch of people that you really don't want to be around, that can damage your health mentally, and that people in society are too over socialized, and that they're continuously putting themselves in a situation they don't want to be in just because they want to gain something out of those people, and they really don't like those people. And that was like written from like the 70s and 90s, but he also has like a whole chapter on like a bunch of like, and he's like, I don't know, it's a fascination of mine.
Do you read a lot of books?
Yeah, I just read a book on Charles Manson and the mind control program of the 60s.
Oh man, I don't know if I read that book, but I did read one similar to that, and it was absolutely insane.
Which
You
one?
learn
Which
so
one?
much. The one that we was talking about with the CIA was a whole program.
Yeah, I
I
read
had
the
no. I didn't know
Chaos.
that. I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, Manson was heavily involved with the MK Ultra program, mind control program. Like, there's a whole program dedicated to in this Haight Ashbury clinic, dedicated to learning about how to control groups of people through LSD, and how one person leads an LSD trip in the form of a cultish thing. They're studying that. Like, it's like, bro, okay, like, geez,
What were they
yeah,
trying to? What were they trying to accomplish there? To just see what the brain can do.
yeah, exactly. Kind of just like find some hippies and say, hey, you can stay here for free, man. And then they ended up
Well,
just like analyzing them and fucking, you know, yeah.
in that topic, do you think that the brain can actually do a lot more than we're taught, than we're made to believe? Or do you think it's hype?
I think that when you're taking a bunch of, I think psychedelics can be like make you realize shit about yourself, and I feel like that's good. And so does marijuana, and it helps you realize stuff about yourself, and that's a good thing.
Right.
But if you sort of accredit you're used to that, to like you always trying to find purpose, and you're really existentialist, and you're like following existentialism is kind of a result of how bored and purposeless we are now, because we let technology do everything for us, and like fucking we kind of just fuck everything up right now. And the agricultural revolution and industrial revolution really ruined everything, and make it so like we're
Mm.
always letting like technology do everything for us, and that just makes us less and less purpose, that gives us less and less purpose in life. And when you have so much purpose, you're indulging in shit that you should not be indulging in. I'm not saying you shouldn't be indulging in drugs. I mean more so like when you always are trying to find some like purpose for yourself, when like there's already kind of responsibilities and stuff that are given to you at birth and shit that
Mm-hmm.
everybody wants to stray away from. That could be like that more so, that could stem to like, I don't know what that could stem to, but
Well,
that
I
resonate
did
with you?
notice. I did notice you're a fan of Joe Rogan, and I don't know if you've seen this episode. I forgot who the guest was, but he did bring up that they went to this country on the other side of the world. I don't know. I think it might have been. I don't even want to say the country. I don't remember. But they said that there was a group of them that they were going to do ayahuasca. Are you familiar with ayahuasca?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there was a group of them, and they did the ayahuasca, and when they're, I guess, quote unquote high, they all saw the same kind of being, is what they said on the podcast. And what is your opinion on that?
Can you see aliens through psychedelics? Probably. Um, Probably. That'd be
do
dope.
you, do you believe in aliens?
Oh yeah, like I've been wired to like be obsessed with aliens my whole life. A lot of people in my family were fucking involved with that, but like they're obsessed with that. And
Oh yeah.
but honestly, I treat a lot of conspiracy theories like the Lord of the Rings.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Just like that shit to dabble in, but you can't like think about it all the time and let it determine your life. I treat it like fantasy fiction, but it is fun to think about. But I feel like we're kind of at a point right now where aliens it's not that they fear us if there is aliens, but they're kind of like, why would we ever spend time hanging out with these like these people literally like massacred millions of people because they don't like their religion.
Mm.
Yeah, no, I don't want to go there. Like,
Yeah,
why would they
you
want to
think
come here? Like, there's nothing there. There is fun stuff that we like enjoy doing with ourselves that make us very special, and there's like cool albums. But like, really, they couldn't even comprehend the context. Even if you gave them a translator of an album, they wouldn't be able to like comprehend the context of anything said in that album, even if it was translated to them. You know what I mean? So like, they can't really connect with us, even if they wanted to connect with us. There's nothing really that they could enjoy beside, and like, you know what I mean, there's, I don't think we're worth their time.
because of
um
what, like their intelligence is like way beyond ours?
it's like, how do I say this, it's like, all right, so this is how I describe us to this is how I describe aliens viewing us. I drove to I drove home today from somewhere, and I saw a group of ravens eating a dove on
Right.
the side of the road, just like probably 15 ravens chowing down on some roadkill. And
Yeah.
I just kind of looked at that and I was like, dude, that's cool. And just kept driving.
Mm.
I'm, I'm the aliens are me in that scenario, and
Right.
we're the ravens eating the dove.
That makes sense. It makes sense. If they have the technology to even go around space, you would think they're way surpass us. Now, do you think that aliens are different from AI or one and the same?
I think, well, it'd be fun for it to have artificial intelligence do everything for us. It's I'm not saying automatically it's gonna be Terminator, but like it's gonna be like, it's either gonna let everything sort of go on autopilot and let us sort of enjoy ourselves more and stuff like that. But like, really, man, a lot of shit that we end up getting ourselves involved with are just constructs invented by a bunch of people that we don't know, that we're just kind of forced to be through. And I think the more and more, my biggest fear is organization, really.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Organizations of corporations, organizations of religion, and stuff like that. And I feel like that's what really is probably the most damaging thing, is huge, massive organization that, where everybody thinks that they're like fulfilling some purpose that they've never even created. And I feel like, wouldn't it be cool if you just found some like if it was like 100, 300 years ago, you just like, your whole life is just centered around you building a house for yourself in the middle of the woods with your homies and just
Mm-hmm.
finding food in the forest.
Yeah.
Like, imagine if that was everybody's lives. It's just like, you know, like figuring, like just finding, building your own house and finding your own food and stuff like that. It's like a paradise world is where you don't have to like save up all and shackle all your money together to go to the
Mm.
grocery store. But like, the grocery store is just in your backyard, dude. If you think about it.
Well, this is kind of like a far fetched question, but what do you think the future holds? Do you think that it's going to get terrible like that with organizations and the destruction, or do you think that we'll get to a point where we don't have to have the money? We can we're in a, like the movie Wall-E. Are you familiar with the movie Wall-E, where they're on the in the spaceship and they're all just sitting down watching TV, eating, sipping every day of their lives, not having to work or do anything like that ever again?
I just hope that, I hope, like, and this sounds so messed up, but like, I hope every single major civilization on the planet goes through a Roman fall. Really, that would just make everything so much more better, and we'd really be able to focus on the people around us more than fulfilling these giant civilizations created hundreds of years ago's needs.
Mm. You think that would have to happen to get to that next step of like positivity?
Not really. Yeah, yeah. I'm not saying someone's gonna press a button. I don't think we like. I don't. I honestly do pray. I think that's why everybody wishes there was. Everyone's like, yeah, if there's an apocalypse, dude, I'm just gonna. I'm just gonna go to the mountains and hang out with the homies and just go skiing or some shit. Like everybody's always thinking about the
Yeah,
apocalypse. Everybody has this sort of subconscious. What would I do if I was in the apocalypse? What would I do if I was in the apocalypse? Because
yeah.
they subconsciously want to go back
Mm.
to a primitive lifestyle. Honestly,
Yeah. Do you think they subconsciously doing that because it's in them, or it's because of like culture, movies, stories, the news, things
a
in that
mixture of
nature?
DNA and culture.
Good answer. Wow, that's a great answer. Oh man, mix of DNA. Because I think people forget about that. They just brush it aside and like how humans' behavior is, but they don't go back to the past and see how the humans did it. Like that's in our blood, right?
Yeah, like Luke Smith is one of my favorite YouTubers right now. And
Mm-hmm.
he made a video on like the boomer generation and how the boomer generation ruined everything, and how before boomer generations you weren't growing up just to become an employee for one company. You were either your own employee or you were raised to have a skill that benefited yourself, but also you could gain goods or monetary value from, and that could actually benefit you for not just yourself. Like you could grow up to be like a carpenter or be like a I don't know, like a plumber or like a
Mm-hmm.
miner or some shit. Not really like a
Right.
miner, but like some big skill or some shit that you could do benefit that could benefit you on your own, and how like society was like you weren't raised to just get some certificate to end up trying to work for some big company later in
Mm-hmm.
life.
Mm-hmm.
And how we're kind of lost in a maze. I kind of in my analysis of that is that he's giving explanation for how we're kind of lost in a maze right now as a society, man.
Interesting. And you said his name was Luke Smith.
Yeah, Luke Smith.
All right.
If you want
In
to
the
go to the
same time,
video I'm talking about, it's like called Luke Smith Boomer Generation, some shit like
Boomer
that.
generation. I'm gonna definitely
Yeah.
check that out. Now how was if you want to talk about it, how was it during in the beginning of the lockdown? How'd you see that rolling out? Because we all thought, well, in my side of town, we all thought it was in the end of the world.
Where you from?
California, Southern California.
Or man, it just helped me become productive, man. I never ever got really directly impacted. I got my second COVID shot like yesterday,
Mm-hmm.
and I never gotten a COVID test ever in my life. It's not because I don't want to. It's just like I've never been ever in a scenario where I ever thought I'd have to get. I've never felt sick. Like
Right.
I live very far away from a lot of society. Really, like I live in like a neighborhood in like Napoleon Dynamite, bro. That's basically where I'm living at. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like,
Very
but it's
isolated.
slightly urbanized, and there is cities nearby and shit like that. But yeah, man. Like I'm just like it just helped me become real productive and stuff like that. But a lot of people, when the pandemic happened, a lot of relationships were um analyzed by each other,
Mm-hmm.
and we just kind of a lot of people kind of left me, um and I removed a lot of people uh in that event. I kind of saw who was worth my time and not worth my time, and then I ended up pushing forward to make myself center around people who were worth my time, and it sort of made me get my shit together, and I'm eternally grateful for pandemic.
I would say, coming from me, the pandemic, in a way, showed people's true colors.
Yep,
Would you agree on that? Yeah, I
for
think
sure.
so. I think that it really did. It showed, it flipped it really. So whoever you remove from your area, bro, it's for the better. You know, to help you in your mindset, your goals. I believe. Now, how has the COVID has it affected your work at all? Because if and in my case, it improved it because everyone's on the internet now.
Oh nah, yeah, I didn't do that much really. work wise or creative wise beforehand. Like I was just, it was probably like once a week, but then when COVID happened, it was like 5+ times a week I'm dropping something, you know. So fuck yeah, like I just did so much way more like productive when the pandemic happened. I just was always trying to like release something. I think every time you'll talk to me, I have about 25+ things unfinished, videos, music, scripts.
Man,
Like anytime you'll ever talk to me, I have like so much stuff unfinished.
how do you manage your time?
Lists, being blunt with people, like, hey, dude, I can't fucking talk right now. I have to do this. Like that. You just got to say that. You can't, like, or if someone gets in your room that you don't want in your room because you're in the middle of something, you got to literally say, like, get the fuck out. I'm in the middle of something. Like, you just got to be blunt with shit. And a lot of people will say, that's being a dick, being a dick. But, bro, like, some people, like, that don't take your stuff seriously, you just got to, like, distance yourself as much as possible from them.
I believe that. I think that somehow we all became a little too nice, right? We all became a little too nice, and because of that, it's kind of slowed down or paced ourselves. And being blunt is actually, especially in this kind of business, you have to get business done. You got to get that. And if you're working with someone, you would kind of expect that same thing, that kind of same work ethic. And if they don't have that same work ethic, you're not gonna flow together. You know, if that makes sense.
Exactly, bro.
So how do you deal with haters in all aspects? How does Mike
I got a
Hass deal with
message.
haters?
How do I deal with haters? I just I don't hate. I don't know. I try to understand where they're coming from and what they're saying about me or some shit. But otherwise, like, I don't know. I can't expect that. I've lost my expectations, and I just kind of let people like not expect much of me. I kind of like. It's not that I don't take this serious. I do take this seriously, but I don't present myself as taking this seriously. Because if you present yourself as hey, look at me, man, I'm taking this serious, and everybody should look at me because I'm taking this serious, and if you're going in every conversation like telling people like, hey, so I got a really good work ethic, dude, and you know, I'm really good at this. Like, you can't say that. Like, you gotta wait for someone to say that for you.
Or show it, right?
Yeah, and that could be tied to faults. You could wait for someone, like, if you analyze like something that you're wrong at, you shouldn't go like, oh man, my bad. You should. No, only really unless someone brings it up, in my opinion.
Now, you don't have a Twitter no more. Is there a reason for that?
Oh yeah, that's gone. Oh my god, I got in so many arguments.
It was on your link tree. It was still on your link tree.
Yeah, man. Oh my god, I would always get like, I'd see someone say something negative about Drake, and I would be like,
Yeah.
fuck you, you fucking. Like, I would just get in so many arguments, like, because I'm obsessed with Drake, bro.
Yeah, Drake is I would say number one, man, in my books.
Oh yeah, no doubt. We got a message from somebody, like an audio message. Somebody dropped the audio message. Do you want me to play
no kidding. Yeah, play it.
This is ground control to Major Tom.
Can you hear it?
You really made the grade. And the papers want to know whose shirt you wear. Now it's time to leave the capsule if you dare. This is Major Tom to ground control.
She's got good music taste.
I'm stepping through the door.
It's nice. This is one of my favorite songs.
And I'm floating in the most peculiar way. And the stars look very different today. For here am I sitting in a tin can.
There you go.
Far above the world.
There you go, Sunflower.
Planet Earth is blue.
Okay.
That was great. What you say?
That was nice. That was a vibe.
Yeah, man. I think I have a deep connection with that song because it's in one of my favorite movies. It's the Ben Stiller Secret Life of Walter Mitty.
Great movie, bro. Great movie.
Dude, oh my God. Like that movie, that's one of those, I like movies that inspire people or like always have like something that someone could take away from the end of it in like a positive sense. Like that's why like my favorite movie would be like City of God is like my favorite
City of
movie.
God. I haven't watched that one yet. City of God. What's that
The
about?
Brazilian crime film.
Mm.
And the reason it's like inspirational is because the film is in the perspective of a bystander who is just just a journalist photographer who observes all the shitty interactions and gang violence, and he ends up using like his environment to his advantage and taking photos of everything and moving forward from his shitty environment and getting out of his slum area and making it as a photographer after like documenting with his camera these people that have been in gang wars that have killed his family members and like massacred like a bunch of people in like it's got a really good positive message, but even the shitty people in the movie you can connect with. Like Benny is like one of my favorite characters in the movie, and it's like I would even like I don't understand why people don't watch foreign films because most foreign films are better than American movies, and American movies mostly rip off foreign films. Like all the most popular westerns are basically straight up samurai movie adaptations.
Right. They
like
took from
Seven Samurai, Magnificent Seven. You know the vibes.
Yeah, that's what America is, though, right? Taking from everything else.
Yeah, honestly.
That's what it is, bro. Hey, so speaking of questions, man, I have some questions from the Instagram, if you don't mind answering. One of them's a little silly, and some of them are cool. First one I'm gonna start off with. Someone asked, "Who is the hardest in the Mad Snake Creative Collective?"
I'll give like 3 of my favorites. In terms of vocalist, I'm really only gonna say vocalist, but
okay.
Conran, the new member, Conran, he's got songs with Jay Green and Baker Maker. Like his discography of like is so well rounded, and he has a really good fan base, and he does techno funk. He does so many other styles. That internally, he just doesn't disappoint with his like hardcore raspy ass voice, but he also does this high pitched Ghostman type rap vocals, but his singing voice is the most unique aspect of him and stuff like that because he sounds like he's from like because like, and this is not gonna, I don't want to make this sound negative, but like Dead internally like has a speech impediment, so the way he talks sounds like the way he sings sounds like he's European, but he's not.
Right.
But it ends up sounding really good and goes to his advantage. And he's honestly the person in the collective I work with the most and had the most personal connection with, to be honest. And then for I'll add a producer at the end. I don't know. I'd say I don't know. I'll give 2 more. Like I'll just shout out Eamon, Unlucky Beats, and Psychedelic and Full Metal Nikki. But no order to everybody. It just I don't know. I don't want to be too specific.
All right. Next question here is, what is your sign, like your horoscope?
I'm a Virgo.
Virgo, huh? Do you believe in that at all?
I don't really follow it, and I don't think it applies to me that much. But
right.
A lot of the girls that are into it often are hot.
Oh man. There's a silly question. Do you like eggs?
Do I like eggs?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like I just had a 6 egg omelet this morning. Like, yeah, nice, I fuck with eggs.
Now,
More
what
so
is the one?
omelets. What?
Go for it.
I just like omelets. I was just saying.
Omelets are bomb, bro. Have you ever had a seafood omelet? It's a little different, like lobster.
Nah, man. Damn. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. If you like lobster, bro, try a, a seafood omelet. It's bomb, bro.
You ever had a cheesesteak omelet?
Oh yeah, that's good too, bro. You can do anything with an omelet, huh?
Yeah, for sure. But I just put cheese on it, sharp cheese or some shit.
That's all you need, really.
Yeah.
All right, brother. I have my final question for you, bro. What is the future for Mike Media Inc? What is the future for that?
The future, I will be trying. I will be uploading probably like 10 videos this week. I'm very impulsive. Like I don't do shit like stretched out. Like I just kind of do it all at once. I rarely schedule things. Um, I'll be doing that. I'm gonna be trying to do a Patreon giveaway when I have like 10 patrons, but I only have 5 or some shit.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be trying to do a giveaway of merch. The future for my channel though, I'll be trying to do a documentary or something fun like that. I'll be trying to do more studio vlogs, like with artists in a studio vlogging their session. And I'll be trying to push my show, Luis the Commander, which is a way more conspiracy theory and more so like weird Adult Swim type show
Sick.
where I just kind of contemplate a bunch of random topics with my friends on camera, or just talk about like weird conspiracies and shit. And music wise, the future, new Circle of Serpents album in July or late June, probably late June. I'm dropping a 3-track EP with Eamon. I'll be trying to do no samples with this because I want to develop my original melody skills, because I'd say like 50% of what I make uses samples, and I'm trying to make my own melodies and shit. I'll be trying to get into rage music, but not really permanently at all. Just like one track I want to make for rage music, and then I'm done with that shit. Just because I had one idea, and that's sample the Hell Yeah Fucking Right melody, but turn it into a rage track for like
Oh
somebody that's
shit.
party, and like
Damn.
speed it up and pitch it up. But yeah, but the Eamon track's gonna be some mosh pit music and shit. He just did a show in Kentucky, fellow Serpent. Shout out Eamon.
Badass, bro.
Ammon, by the way. And I'll be trying to I'll be doing some podcast with Grandmaster Hendy over at the Northwest Cult. I'll definitely refer you to him because he's a really good podcaster that I think you'd do something good with.
Oh, good looking. That'd be dope. That would be sick. I also forgot to ask you, bro. I saw that you have a short film on the 2020. Are you thinking about doing something like that again? Because this one right here, I mean, it sucks, dude. It's sad. It's depressing that this was our year, and you captured that in a short film.
Yeah, man. I'm definitely gonna. I don't think I'll do one for 2021, but I think I'll definitely make. I always am writing a short film script. I just filmed a short film. Finished filming one. Like today, but I don't know if I'm gonna release it. I'm gonna edit it, and if I don't like it, I'm not gonna put it out. But I don't know. I'm gonna put it on
Well,
my Patreon. I don't
that would
know,
be sick.
but
That would be sick.
yeah, Patreon only. But if I don't like it, maybe I don't know. I'll have to maybe do a reshoot. But I am planning on writing. I kind of wrote a rough outline of a flea market centered script because I just sold a bunch of shit at a flea market. And there's a lot
Sick.
of funny shit that happens, like people buying your shit and then selling it at their table, people changing the price twice or some shit, like,
Yeah.
and like depending on the people that walks up and shit. And I want to make some shit. I want to make some cool ass like. I like making movies like that are not extraordinary.
Mm.
Does that make sense? I don't want to make some giant fantasy movie. I just want to make a movie about like average Joes, but them trying to find their own purpose and shit.
Damn, I would watch that, bro.
That's how I
I think that's a
describe
great idea.
the type of movies I have coming up.
All right, well, I'm here, bro. I'm a fan. I'm gonna continue watching you, bro. It was an honor having you here. Go ahead and tell all the listeners where they can find out your art.
You could go check out and subscribe to Mike Media Inc. Just go on YouTube, look up Mike Media Inc. Mike Media Inc. and just look up Mike Media Inc. and on Instagram at Mike Media Inc. And for the MCC, the MADDSNAKE Creative Collective, just go on Instagram, check out MADDSNAKE Creative Collective, and you can check out on Spotify the Circle of Serpents or MADDSNAKE, my tracks. I do. I'm a producer, and if you want to check out some cool interviews, I've interviewed a lot of underground artists. I've interviewed Soulze, I've interviewed Mr. Cisco, I've interviewed Slim Gorilla, I've interviewed a lot of artists in the underground. So you can definitely check out those interviews on the Mike Media Inc. channel. And if you want to listen to some cool music, go on SoundCloud at MADDSNAKE Creative Collective. Check that out. And I'll probably, if you're putting this on YouTube, I'll give you like a link tree or some shit.
Yeah, I'll definitely put that down on the YouTube.
All right, then.
All right, brother. Mike Hass, thank you so much. All the listeners, you can go follow him, give him some love. Mike Hass, let's do this again, bro. I know you're a busy man, but hopefully in the summertime. Thank you, bro.
Of course. I'm going to call you on Instagram after we're done.
I will do, bro. Peace.
See you.